I, 33M, was married to a woman I thought was the love of my life, Emma, 31F. We had been together for 7 years, married for 3. I met her during college, and honestly, she was everything I wanted. Smart, supportive, funny, affectionate, at least that's what I believed. We built a life together. I had a stable job in tech, she was a freelance interior designer, and things were good. Until she told me she was pregnant. That moment. It felt like winning the lottery. We had talked about kids, but it was always a someday thing. She cried when she told me. I cried too. I bought a little onesie the next day and kept it in my drawer. I started planning for our future, savings, insurance, turning the guest room into a nursery. But 3 months later, Emma came home crying, saying she had lost the baby. A miscarriage. I was shattered. She was 2, or at least she pretended to be. Warning the first suspicion 2 weeks after the miscarriage, I found a medical bill in the trash. An ultrasound from a clinic we'd never visited. It was dated before she ever told me she was pregnant. It didn't make sense. When I gently asked about it, she snapped. "Why are you snooping through the trash? Are you accusing me of lying about our baby?" I backed off. I didn't want to hurt her more, but something felt off. Broken heart, the lie begins to unravel a month later. I was cleaning out the guest room, the one that was supposed to be the nursery, and I found a sealed envelope behind the dresser. It was from a fertility clinic addressed to Emma. I opened it. She had been told 3 months before getting pregnant that she was infertile, completely. 0 chance of natural conception. I sat on the floor for an hour just staring at the letter. She never told me. Instead, she lied about being pregnant, then lied about losing a baby that never existed. Why? I didn't confront her yet. I needed to know more. Detective mail digging deeper over the next week, I checked everything. Her phone, locked, her emails, she'd changed the password, but she was careless with her laptop. One evening while she was showering, I checked it. What I found flipped my stomach. A hidden folder of messages with someone named Jake. There were hundreds of emails, romantic, explicit, dating back 8 months. They were talking about a future together. She told him she was trapped with me and that she was working on an exit plan. And the worst part? She told him about the fake pregnancy and said it was to keep me emotionally vulnerable while she moved money into her private account. Pouting faced the rage and the plan I wanted to explode. But instead, I smiled. Because now I knew exactly how I was going to destroy her. I copied everything. Emails, bank records, messages, the fertility clinic letter. I sent them to myself, printed hard copies, and saved backups in a hidden flash drive. Then I started acting broken. I stopped shaving. I cried randomly. I pretended I couldn't work. I told her I needed help, therapy, that I couldn't live without her. She loved it. She felt in control. She even started treating me more kindly, as if rewarding a loyal dog, all while continuing the affair with Jake. I waited 3 months, 3 long, painful months of playing the victim. Fire the burn begins one morning. I told her I wanted to go visit my brother for a few days to clear my mind. She encouraged it. What she didn't know was that I had, 1, cleared out our joint account, the part that was legally mine. 2, hired a lawyer. 3, rented a small apartment under a fake name. 4, set up meetings with her clients. I left. And the next morning, her world began to collapse. Chart decreasing the fallout. Day 1. Her clients received anonymous emails with screenshots of her affair and theft. She used my money to buy Jake gifts. Day 2. Her family got a care package, including the fertility letter, her affair timeline, and her plan to divorce me quietly after emptying our savings. Day 3. I filed for divorce. She was served at her favorite coffee shop. Day 4. I posted everything anonymously on Reddit, Instagram, and sent it to Jake's wife. Day 5. Her business account was flooded with 1-star reviews. Clients canceled. Firecracker the confrontation. She showed up at my new place a week later. She was crying, screaming, begging. "How could you do this to me? You ruined my life." I looked her dead in the eye and said, "You lied about giving me a child. You faked grief. You planned to rob me and leave me. I didn't ruin your life. I just stopped you from ruining mine." She collapsed on the floor, sobbing. I didn't care. I closed the door. Hourglass not done the aftermath. It's been 6 months. She's lost almost everything, her business, her reputation, Jake, and most of her friends. Me, I'm in therapy, healing. I moved to a new city, started fresh. I still have that baby onesie, not out of pain, but as a reminder. A reminder to never ignore your gut. A reminder that monsters don't always look like villains. And a reminder that sometimes the best revenge is truth. It had been 6 months since I exposed my wife Emma's lies. 6 months since I burned down the carefully constructed illusion she built of being a loving wife, of grieving a fake child, of pretending to care. I had started to heal, slowly, but the past has a funny way of circling back, especially when unfinished business remains. Incoming enveloped the email from Jake's wife. One morning, I woke up to an email titled, "You don't know me, but thank you." It was from Lena, Jake's wife. She had received the anonymous envelope I sent her, which included the screenshots of Emma and Jake's affair, financial records, and the fake pregnancy scheme. Lena told me she had been suspicious of Jake for a long time, but the evidence I gave her was the final nail. She divorced him within 30 days. She also dropped a bombshell of her own. By the way, Jake had 3 affairs. Emma was just one. He called her the easiest to control, said she believed everything he said. Oof. That was the first time I felt something unexpected, pity for Emma. She wasn't just a liar, she was lied to too. Collision. Emma hits rock bottom. 2 weeks later, I got a call from a blocked number. I ignored it. Then another, and another. Finally, I answered. It was Emma's sister, Rachel. She sounded shaken. "I'm sorry to bother you, but Emma's in the hospital." Apparently, Emma had tried to take pills. Not to die, more like a cry for help, a meltdown. She'd lost her business, her relationship, her home, her family's trust. Now she was living in a friend's basement and had developed severe anxiety and depression. Rachel begged me to visit. I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no either. The hospital visit. I showed up 2 days later. Emma looked like a shadow of her former self. Her hair was unkempt. Her eyes were swollen. There were dark circles under them, and her wrists had light bruises from restraint straps. She looked at me like she saw a ghost. "I didn't think you'd come," she whispered. I didn't sit down. I stayed by the door. "You called me a broken man," I said. "You built a lie so big it nearly consumed me. Now you know how it feels." She didn't cry. Instead, she said, "I didn't know Jake was using me. I thought I was in control." I nodded slowly. "And I thought I was going to be a father." Silence. That silence carried all the pain, the betrayal, the lost futures, and the emptiness between us. The final twist before I left, she said something strange. "He told me if I could make you hate yourself enough, you'd give me everything in the divorce and walk away. That was the plan." "Who? Jake?" She nodded. "He said he'd marry me after, but when you exposed everything, he disappeared." So that was it. I was never the target. I was a pawn in a bigger game. Jake had played us both, her emotionally, me financially, but she let it happen. She chose to lie, she chose to pretend. She chose to hurt me first. Envelope closure. The letter she left 2 months after that hospital visit. I received a letter. Handwritten. No return address. It was from Emma. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. I know I destroyed everything we had. But there's one thing I need you to know. I really did want that baby, not because of Jake, not because of money, but because I wanted to keep you. And that was the most selfish thing I've ever done." I didn't respond. But for the first time, I felt a strange peace. Not forgiveness, not love, just closure. Light bulb. Where I am now, it's been almost a year. I'm still rebuilding. Still going to therapy, still learning to trust again, but I'm stronger, wiser. And every now and then I take out that little baby onesie, the one I bought when I thought we were expecting. I don't cry anymore. I just remind myself, you survived her, you survived you. And now you're free. It's been a year and a half since my marriage imploded. A year and a half since I learned the woman I loved, Emma, faked a pregnancy, lied about a miscarriage, and schemed with another man to bleed me dry. I exposed her, I left, I rebuilt. And I thought I was done with her, but I was wrong. Because last week she showed up at my door, the knock that shouldn't have come. I had just gotten back from a morning jog. Sweaty, headphones still in, mentally planning my breakfast. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door, my heart stopped. It was Emma, but she wasn't alone. She had a baby in her arms. A baby and an apology. She looked tired. Not like the messy, broken version I saw in the hospital months ago, but not glowing either. She looked real. "I just needed 5 minutes," she said. I didn't say a word. I stepped aside. She sat on my couch, bouncing the baby gently. "I named him Noah," she said softly. "He's 9 weeks old." I stared at the child. Fair skin, dark eyes, a tiny tuft of black hair. Adorable, innocent, but not mine. I didn't even need to ask. "I know what you're thinking," she said. "He's not yours, he's Jake's." I felt my stomach turn. I almost laughed out loud. After all that, she actually had Jake's baby. Her confession, I was pregnant while I was in the hospital. I didn't even know yet. After you visited me, I found out a week later. She looked at the baby like she was both proud and ashamed. Jake wanted nothing to do with him, said he never wanted to be a father. He blocked me, moved to another state. His wife divorced him. He's gone. She paused, eyes glossy. I came here to say I understand now what I did to you. How deep it went. The way I manipulated love, grief, trust. Silence. You didn't deserve any of it, and you didn't deserve me showing up now. But I needed you to see that. I'm trying. I'm raising him alone. I've been clean. No lies, no games. She looked at me teary-eyed, and I wanted to say sorry, one last time, not to ask for forgiveness, just to give it. Light bulb, a moment of truth. I didn't speak for a long time. I didn't feel angry. Or betrayed, honestly. I just felt done, not in a cruel way, in a peaceful, detached kind of way. I looked at her and said, "You're right, you don't deserve forgiveness, but you're getting something better, a clean break, no more revenge. No more guilt, just go live your life, be better for him." I looked down at the baby, little Noah, and added, "He didn't ask for any of this. Give him something honest. That's all he'll ever need from you." She nodded, trembling. And then she left. Stop sign, final encounter with Jake. You'd think that'd be the end. But life always leaves one last loose thread. 2 weeks later, I saw Jake. At a gas station, of all places. He didn't recognize me at first. His hair was longer, his face thinner. He looked like someone who hadn't slept in days. When he did recognize me, his face went pale. He turned to leave, but I stopped him. "Jake," he froze. "I'm not here to fight," I said. "Just want to know why," he blinked. "You were the guy she never got over," he said quietly. "She talked about you like you were some saint, made me feel like I was second best. I just wanted to prove I could ruin you." He gave a sad laugh. "Guess I ruined myself instead." I nodded. "Yeah, you did." And then I walked away. Sunrise, where I am now. I moved again. New city, new circle, new life. I've started a podcast, anonymously, where I read and share stories from people who have been betrayed. People who need their voices heard, people like me. It's grown fast. Turns out, pain connects people more deeply than we realize. I'm dating again, slowly. I don't lead with my scars, but I don't hide them either. And sometimes, just sometimes, I wonder what little Noah will grow up thinking of his mother. I hope she tells him the truth, not the pretty version. Not the soft lies, but the truth. Because that's the one thing I wish I'd been given from the start. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you never miss a new video.